And today we will be talking about stock exchange market, but very few people know about what stock exchange is all about. Our business reporter Jackson Juma asked people around in Nairobi what they know about stock market business, and this is what we had for you.
Well, thank you very much for joining, and today we are talking about stock market. I want to know what people understand by stock market, and I'm talking to the residents here at Lavington, and I want to talk to some of the residents if they know anything about stock market and stock market exchange. What's your name, brother?
My name is Kombo Lucas.
Kombo Lucas. What is stock market?
Stock market. Stock market, I think it is a market which things can be sold, like the fruits.
Have you ever done business with stock market?
I have not.
You have not? Have you ever cared to know anything about stock market exchange?
I have not.
Thank you very much. Kenya is definitely one of the fastest growing African markets in the economy, and investment, real estate, banking, manufacturing, and of course stock exchange. Stocks are one of the most popular financial instruments in the world. But what does a stock actually mean and represent? Let's find out how stocks are created and what buying a stock means for the investors. And to demystify that for us today is Grace Wangishi, Equities and Research Analyst at Genghis Capital. A very warm welcome to the program this hour.
Thank you much.
All right, and I would like to understand, even from a layman point of view, maybe just break down for us what a stock is.
A stock is a unit of ownership in a company that entitles the holder the profits, a portion of profits in that company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Okay, then just make us understand what it means to buy stocks in the market, in terms of the economy. What is it all about?
Okay, well, like I've said, it's a unit of ownership. For example, if you bought one share of Safaricom, that entitles you to a percentage of ownership in Safaricom. When they make profits, you get dividends. And in Kenya, we have the Nairobi Securities Exchange, which facilitates buying and selling of those same shares in different companies, and also facilitates purchase of bonds and other financial instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So how do you distinguish stocks from shares?
Stocks are actually shares.
Right.
Yeah, but bonds are the ones that are different, because bonds are fixed income instruments. Shares don't have a fixed income. So once it goes up in value, that's when you make a profit. Yes, for the bonds, it's a particular interest, which is your profit. Yes.
So how do you buy and sell shares?
Buying and selling of shares is, you have to open a CDS account, which usually is done by stockbrokers, like Genghis Capital, where you come and open an account. You require 2 passport size photos, which are recent and are colored. You need a copy of your passport or your ID, and some stockbrokers require you to have a copy of your KRA PIN. So when you go to the stockbroker, they require you to fill a form with your personal details, highlighting your investment objectives, and thereafter they activate the account for you after they do a background check, and then you credit the share. You credit your share account. With this, I mean that you put money into a bank account, take the slip to the stockbroker, and then they credit your CDS account, and from there you can be able to buy shares. And the stockbroker, depending on which one it is, they could give you an opportunity to advise you in terms of the shares, which shares to buy, and also others help you with the research, and you can be able to buy for yourself off the market using an online trading platform.
So how important is it to have a stockbroker?
First of all, for you to buy shares and sell shares, you have to have a stockbroker. You have to do it through a stockbroker. Your account has to be with a stockbroker. But having somebody to advise you is important, because you need to know which shares are going to gain, because at the end of the day you want to make profits, which means a gain in the value of the share price. So you need somebody to advise you as far as that is concerned. So it's very important.
All right. And then another question that I've been asked so many other times is how can one make profit through trading in stocks?
Making profit through trading in stocks is when you buy low and you sell high. So, for example, in Safaricom, if you bought the share at when it went to the IPO, which was 5 shillings, it's currently going at levels of 29 shillings. So when you less that, the brokerage fee, which is usually 2.1%, the difference, whatever you get, is your profit. So that's how you make money.
So how secure is your investment in the Nairobi Stock Exchange?
The good thing is that we have a Central Depository and Securities Corporation, which is a CDSC, which has your CDS account. So they have ensured that your investments are safe with them. So no, even though somebody logged into your account, they need particular authorization for them to sell and to get money from your account. So it's quite safe.
All right. Even as our reporter went on earlier to ask people about stocks and what they know about it and if they've been able to engage in it, most of the people have this misconception that it is just for the rich people. How true is this? Is buying and trading in stocks just for the rich people, or can a common mwananchi just go and buy shares and trade within the stock market?
Actually, it is not for the reserve of the rich, because different shares have different share values. So depending on the amount you have and what you want out of a share, there are different kinds of shares for everyone. So there are those ones that are high, have high share price, those ones that have low share prices. So it's not the reserve of the rich. However, whichever amount you have can give you some amount of shares.
Shares, okay. So how accessible is it? How is it accessible to get shares? Is it as easy as just going to, Safaricom and say, look, I want to buy you shares? Or how is it?
Actually, you don't have to go to Safaricom to buy any shares. It's available. Okay, first of all, you can log into the Nairobi Securities Exchange website, where you can see the different share values that you would want to invest in. Then you need to be at a stockbrokers for you to be able to tell, for you to be able to invest in the shares. Yeah, so it's very accessible. I mean, but you need to go and trade within the trading hours, which is between 9:30 and 3 p.m.
All right. Why do you think people should invest in a stock market?
First of all, it's a good savings culture, because it ensures that you have some sort of value in the future that you can liquidate and get some money off. So as far as savings is concerned and investment, that is good. Yes.
So another question, this is quite personal. How can I become rich if I invest in stock market, and how really?
You can actually become very rich. So you just need to identify the different companies that you want to invest in, so that you build a portfolio. Mostly the people who benefit are those ones who buy shares for the longer term. So you buy shares and hold them for a long period of time. Most of the times that translates into appreciation of value, because if you don't, if you keep accumulating on a particular share, probably when it was lower and then it keeps going up and up and up, so in the long run you're going to have a lot of shares, and that would mean if the companies you've invested in pay out consistent dividends, that means you're going to get rich both in capital gains, which is in the appreciation of the share value, and the dividends. Yes.
So what precautions or things should I consider before engaging in in trading in the stock market?
First of all, the companies that you want to invest in, you should have a thorough checkup into the companies, so that you can be able to tell their strategy going forward, whether it's going to be in a going concern, such that if they're following the rules and regulations laid out, you're sure that that company is going to be there for long. So you can invest in it. That ensures stability. And also you need to know the period that you're going to invest in, because most of the times people will want to buy into a share and hoping that it's going to go very up very fast, which is usually not the case most of the times. So you need to also have a strategy in terms of time. Which period are you going to hold that share for?
Exactly. When is the best time to actually trade in stocks or buy stocks?
Mostly the best time is when the share prices are low, which, for example, right now for most of the shares, they've not appreciated in value. We also saw during around the elections, just before the elections last year, people had staying out of the markets, especially locals, and that was a time that people could have bought because the share prices had gone down. So essentially, it's right to buy when the share prices are low, so that when they appreciate in value, you can make your profit.
All right. What was the impact of last year's election on the market within the stocks? Did it depreciate? Did it appreciate? Or exactly what was the impact?
Honestly, it was not as bad as we hoped it would. Okay, we expected it was going to be. So the markets were very steady. They did not take such a big hit as far as the elections were concerned. At some point, it just stopped riding on the fact that there were elections around. So there was a slight dip, yes, but from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, there was actually a gain in the markets.
All right. Yeah. Again, so how is it of benefit as an alternative way of investment in terms of shares? How is stocks a benefit other than the other types of investments? Okay,
for example, if you were to put money into a bank account, currently the rates of, you're supposed to get 7% on your deposit. The stock share, for example, last year, the all share index went from, it gained 18% in the year. So had you put your money, instead of putting it in a bank account, you'd have put it in the stocks that are on the all share, you could have gotten probably 18% on your portfolio. So it is sometimes it's better than the ordinary like bonds, especially because like bonds are low risk and hence low return, but shares they have very high return, but there's also very high risk.
All right.
Yes.
What other forms of investments are there that could rival stocks?
Okay, like I've said, there are bonds, which other people.
What is actually the difference between a bond and a stock?
A bond is, like I said, it's a fixed income security, which entitles you a particular percentage. It's already predetermined, a particular percentage of what you've lent. Okay, usually a bond is like a debt where you are giving money. For example, a treasury bond is where the government is borrowing from you as a person. So if you give 50,000 shillings, they probably told you that they're going to give you maybe 10% of that. So you're going to give the government that 50,000 and you're going to get 10% of that. So usually that is guaranteed. There's no way it is going to be defaulted. But yeah, for shares it's a bit risky. You could invest something and then you could lose it all, or you could gain more on it.
What are the best stocks to buy in Kenya?
Well, of course it depends at the particular time you're asking.
Right.
So you have a lot of things to evaluate, of course, depending on how long you want to invest. There's shares that you could buy now and you could sell in 5 years for much more. Yeah, and there are those ones that you could buy for dividends. So, and yeah, you need to sit down and come up with a strategy or an investment objective, and yes, then we could help each other on that.
All right, just give us, just give an advice to the person who's watching right now and they're interested in buying stocks. What advice would you give them the most, what should they look into? What should they expect?
As far as shares are concerned, I'd say that you're supposed to, it's not for the faint-hearted though, because yes, there's the risk that comes with it, but honestly, it is a very good type of investment, and it helps you learn, and you could be rich, like we had said, you could be rich out of stocks. So instead of people using their money to gamble, you could actually invest in the stock exchange, and
it could actually bring you good returns at the end of the day.
But you have to watch the market though.
You keep watching the market every day to see the fluctuations.
Yes,
and
yes. And then you have to follow up into the companies that you have invested in, so that you know what direction the company you're investing in.
But you could also make very big losses as well.
Yes,
it's a risky business.
Side. So I mean, especially for the young people, I don't think you have much to lose as far as risk is concerned, because you try and try, but of course, it is much, much better than betting.
All right. Thank you very much, Grace Wangeshi, Equities and Research Analyst at Jengis Capital. Of course, just talking to us about the stock exchange markets in the country and just getting to understand a little bit more what that means for us. And we'd like to just go back to our earlier story in regards to the same discussion that we were having, and where we talked, we asked people around Nairobi what they knew about the stock exchange markets. And here is the full report.
Well, thank you very much for joining. And today we are talking about stock market. I want to know what people understand by stock market. And I'm talking to the residents here at Lavington. And I want to talk to some of the residents if they know anything about stock market and stock market exchange. What's your name, brother?
My name is Kombo Lucas.
Kombo Lucas. What is stock market?
Stock market. Stock market, I think it is a market which things can be sold, like the fruits.
Stock market?
Yes.
No.
You don't, have you ever heard about it?
I've heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Have you ever cared to know?
No.
What do you understand by stock exchange?
I don't understand about it.
Have you ever heard about it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Do you know what is stock market?
I don't know, I don't.
Have you ever cared to know about it?
No.
Hapo hiyo nafikiria ni mipanda ya biashara, vile uchumi inapanda na kushuka Kenya hii. Hivyo ndio naweza elezea vitu.
Stock is change the business.
Yes.
About the business.
Yes.
Iko chini. Iko chini ama iko juu?
Okay. What is stock exchange?
Stock exchange, I think it's a value of money which is added to the business. It's deal with banks.
Do you know how it works?
No, I don't know how it works. I think this is a thing with the billionaires to deal with the rich men.
So you think it's for rich people?
I don't think it's the small men like me.
Very well. That's all what we heard from the residents from this place. Generally, most people don't know anything about stock exchange or how it works.
All right, that's what we had lined up for you for Business Insight this hour. Many thanks for keeping us company. More news in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Zainab Ismail. Good afternoon and good day.